a lot of people hungry, so here we go. Dad said my heart is a piñata. He also says I have a hotel heart, un corazón de hotel, always room for many para que entren muchos, and there are always rooms regardless if it's full. I can't help it. I love to love, but I tend to live breaking my piñata heart. I used to swear I'd never ever fall in love again. I swore I would never become my mother's. I'd be smarter with my heart, but here we are. Sometimes 3 relationships at a time. And I love so intensely, like I love my barbacoa on Sundays with some menudo on the side, with extra hominy and cebolla and cilantro. I don't love you like a crispy taco whose shell was too soggy to keep it all in. No, but like a double tortilla de maíz on a taco de pastor with pineapple juices from the taquero and his trompo that have been simmering all day long. I don't give half-ass vibes. And if I'm mad, you'll feel it. I'll be mad like that chile de árbol on the nopalitos con costillas de res I begged you yesterday. You know, the one you kept saying was good while putting bullets and continuing to eat. The one that even the coca kept making spicier in your mouth if you drank some. Yes, that one. And when I'm warm, you'll feel my love. With a caldito de pollo I spent all afternoon making in this 100-degree Texas weather so I can remind you of the love your mom gave you. And if we last, and your birthday comes around, I'll spend hours making you my family mole recipe. You know, the one with lots of chocolate, chile ancho, and the beating of my molcajete, because God knows the blender is a secondary character in my house. My mole sauce delivers the beatings of passion I gave for you to understand my love, because I don't just like you, I love you, but also with passion enough to kill us both one day, with the brujeria needed for you to never leave. My dad said it's called agua de calzón. I call it loving you, with tacos, sopes, gorditas, tostadas, and tamales. If I stop letting people rest here, it's like asking them to take a crispy taco from that Mexican restaurant with the pop music blaring and cold seeds and queso on their menu. My love doesn't rain, it pours, and it burns slowly, like the spicy chilaquiles I make you with café de olla so you'll sober up. I learned this from my mother using as much serranos to wake up Dad for church on Sundays for misa. My piñata heart isn't for the weak. It's paper mache, but it's that good from back home from Nuevo Laredo, made for the piñatas that last all the kids in my barrio and their turns and their hits with the palo. And the candy that will splatter on the floor has delicious regular sized candy, chocolate, huge lollipops, all mixed up with that nice Mexican candy too, like tamarindos, mazapanes, picafresas, and lucas. So I'll keep this piñata heart, the one my dad calls a hotel, because again, I don't give half-ass vibes. Besides, it lets me sleep better at night knowing someone won't be out there eating American cheese on a rolled tortilla, calling it an enchilada. Thank you. This Texas sun calls for the reminders us brown girls forget. My father recently asked my sisters and I why these men we bring home have no backbone. Why his hijas are chingonas and always have to have the last word. Asked why we are not quiet and submissive and stay-at-home moms. And we sat there thinking, like maybe he was onto something. And we realized why. It's because of him, men like him. Our cultura, it spoils us to demand, and if it doesn't align, then there's something wrong. My cultura loves me so much, it made a role for a man to deliver heaven on earth for me. It made a role for a man to come and cater to me right when the sun persists. No other culture has a man specifically known to make our day better like ours. He walks for hours at a time in this blistering sun. He always smiles at us, makes small talk that starts with how are you, mi reina, and what would you like. He has no judgment. He asks if I'm sure I don't want anything else. And he smiles. Through his long day, he smiles. He has manners. He has eyes that seem to say he'd do anything for us and more. He is constant and consistent and delivers, whether it's in my barrio or other neighborhoods where reinas reside. As Latinas, we have confidence because we are born into kingdoms where we are called princesas, mi reina, or bebita at home. And when the sun gets really hot outside, we hear those bells that get us giddy and chiviadas. Because here comes the other man in our life that spoils us with love. I am entitled, white girl, because my cultura gives us paleteros. And my paletero says, buenas tardes, mi reina, que gustas, quieres de agua o de leche, o se te antoja de fresa, de melón, de tamarindo, o de limón. And he says it with happiness. And he always asks if I want more. And he does this every weekend or every day at times. And in a sea of people, he looks for me, the girl with the nopal, the one that isn't white, because my accent or brown eyes remind him of what he was taught on how to remind brown girls that we are reinas, princesas, or bebecitas at home. And he caters to us in the sun, so we won't forget this constant reminder from the universe and ancestors that we come from lineage that worship us like diosas, that a paleta can give us rest within the sun. And if a man is willing to cater to us for un antojo like this, we need to demand more. So we made my father laugh when we told him he couldn't have it all. His hijas chingonas don't wait for men with backbones, because we do for ourselves what we are worth. When we all get spoiled in many ways in our cultura, more so with our paleteros. ¿Y qué gustas, mi reina? ¿Me das una de mango, por favor?
And it's for Pranesh. I didn't want you to leave, but if you had to, I'm so grateful to you for gifting me the map to La Tiendita. Without you, I never would have found it, but of course it was you who led me there. You always did have an affinity for adventure and complex flavors. I go to La Tiendita to replenish my pantry so I can make your favorite dish, which has now become my favorite dish. Savoring it spoonful by spoonful. It feels like having a giddy conversation with you just the way I remember you. At La Tiendita, the lighting is always warm. The aisles are always wide. And the speakers play songs that I think I heard you sing at least once. This is an everlasting place where I can find a flux of the freshest ingredients, the most aromatic spices, and the most luxurious golden oils. The herbs from there, they taste like coziness, like fortitude, like your voice at its most tender. Every time I go to La Tiendita, it feels like I just missed you. Like you were there restocking the shelves for all the things you know that I love. But not just me, all the other people who love you, who miss you, who ingested a bit of your spirit, who will never be the same since you crossed. Every time I go, I think I'm going to weep for you, and it would be okay if I did. But I don't. Because even though I can't see you, I know you are there with me. I'm always amazed how La Tiendita is always open. No matter how long I stay, it feels like mere seconds and entire lifetimes all at once. I'm always amazed how I leave La Tiendita with the halcyon feeling that you put all your love in my palms. Because of you, a better world is possible, more harmonious, full of music, full of growth, full of light, full of peace, full of medicine, full of roses. I did not want you to leave. But if you absolutely had to, I'm so grateful to you, so grateful to you for being with me, for loving me, for choosing me, for being with me even now in the ways that you can, wherever that may lead, wherever that may lead, wherever that may lead. Did y'all catch it when I forgot the rest of the poem and started laughing nervously? I'm so proud of myself though for even trying to do it memorized, so. Yeah. This one is called Non-Binary Switch. And I dedicate this to Aurora, May he, she, they be well, wherever she is. Non-binary switch. They say we were empty. They say we were ill-fated, slated to only touch each other again in the afterlife. But that in this life, I should never let you in again. Yes, you had me once, and you never will again, not after the first great fissures on the ground. But we were not wrong to give in. It wasn't a mistake to help you take off your soft leopard print undies, to cuddle on the couch while you ate your fragrant cow mangai, to stand on the opposite ends of the room and dance towards each other. Your tender voice in my ear, your sternum salt on my tongue, your wiry body becoming mine, and my unstable curves becoming yours. It may not have been fathomable as a long-term relationship now that I look back on the way we mishandled our boundaries, but what we had, it was divine. It was sweet. It was not a false love. If it had been, you would not have cowered when the parting of the seas projected us to different borders. Me among the live oak, you among the pine. And I'm doing a short one, and for this one I'm gonna need Karen to hold the microphone. As close to my mouth as possible, if that's okay. So this is going to be an interactive piece. You do not have to participate if you don't want to. This is an experiment, so it could go really well or it could go really badly. It's really up to all of us. The reason why she's holding the microphone is because I'm gonna need my hands for this, because what we're gonna do tonight is make metaphorical, one of those, tortillas with our hands. And we're gonna need our palms for this. Again, you don't have to participate, but I'm gonna invite my ancestors here because they've been waiting for this tortilla making party for a while. And if you want, you can join me with. So what's gonna happen is it's a bilingual poem, it's fairly short. I'm gonna have us make tortillas if you like. And then when I say the word hands, like jazz hands, I'm gonna do like a jazz hands move. And at that point, you can put your hands in your lap gently if you like, or you can mirror me, whatever you like. Sale? Are we ready? Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, this one's called Verde. And basically all we're doing is this. It's basically the patty cake motion. Breathe. That's good, yes. I'm feeling it. Okay. Making tortillas from scratch with the corn of your people, del comal de tu abuelita, and the hands of, yes, and the hands of, quién sabe quién. The flattened dough, it hums with memory. Tú cómete todas las que tú quieras, baby girl. They would rather see you full than dead.
You like that. Thank you, yes. Okay, next Vanessa. Ready? Vanessa's my soul sister. And then her block.
Hi everybody. Hello. First, I just want to congratulate Karen again for her book. This event is amazing, right? She put this together, so thank you, Karen. I'm honored to be celebrating this moment with you. We're all very proud of you and very happy for you. So we love Karen. So this collection of poems that I'm going to read, that I put together, it kind of actually tells a story. So just really quick, just explaining, before this past year, I had some really rough times. And if you know me personally, then rough is a major understatement. So I wanted to put this collection together to show a story of light on the other side of grief, which I think Karen can kind of relate to as well. So that's kind of what we connect to in poetry. So, you can kind of see how heartbreak can leave us in this place of loneliness and pain and rediscovery, if you will. So when you realize that you can create your own happiness and love, you end up finding love in unexpected ways. So that's what I'm going to be reading today. Our last night was fueled by an alcoholic fire and your lipstick on empty cans and cigarette butts. I hadn't seen you in months. You talked about green and amber glass that night. You always liked how things looked when you held them to the light. It's happening again. I promised I wouldn't do this, but how can I stand so close to an open wound without trying to cover it? There was always a cold breeze coming from you. We got high off of laying brick walls around each other and trying to find the cracks where the light could shine through. I tried looking, but I could never find you. Loving you was sitting in a cold, dark room. It was on your doorstep where you decided to leave everything behind. Maybe it was the moon or the city lights, but I found you that night. You always liked how things looked when you held them to the light, and now I see why I saw you. You said you loved me. You said, why lose yourself in the streets of another city? Stay with me. There is a maze inside your brain, and I've always liked puzzles. It's a promise we can't keep, but I'm sick, and you're my therapy. I wonder how many times I will watch the cars that pass me by before I realize that not every Nissan Sentra will carry you. Every crater on the moon got to look down and see your face tonight, and every picture I keep of you is a memory locked in time. At least that's what I tell myself. What I'm trying to say is that I grip so tightly onto love, even when it's gone. I'm a historian of us. I can recite the exact moment when looking into your eyes sent thunder rumbling down my spine, or the language that our bodies spoke when our souls intertwined. My mind is a gallery of memories displayed carefully, to remind me of the moments before the lightning cracked the sky open with loneliness. They say you're supposed to see the lightning before you hear the thunder roll, but I had my eyes closed. Nostalgia is our mother, and I, its grief-stricken child. I can hold every moment I've ever had with you inside my head and rewind time. A bed is a continent when I'm the only one lying in it, and the sound of your laughter is the pillow that I'll clutch at night. So yeah, I'll watch the cars, and I'll stare at the moon, and I'll do every other cliche fucking thing I could possibly do just to grip on to the last thoughts that I'll ever have of you. The world is falling apart on our tiny blue speck, and the James Webb telescope showed us just how many worlds there are to crumble. Some are falling and some are rising, and I wonder how many living beings fell to their knees in defeat. How many beings love each other out there? Did they get to hold someone that made their heart skip a beat? Who woke up and decided that today made perfect sense? How many beings looked in a telescope at the Milky Way and wondered if there was someone else out there? How would they react if they knew it was me? Particles of complex emotions and self-centered views. I'm a speck on a rock who forgot that the woman in the mirror is just a star covered in skin and meat. A telescope showed me that there's so many galaxies swirling around out there, and all I can think about is the darkness in between. This is to say that you can display all the highlights in my life, and I'll still count the gaps like sheep. You can show me all the times someone out there looked at me and felt love, and I'll still wonder if that will ever be enough. There's so many little girls out there who grew up to live a life just like me. So I can only wonder if we're all just the same person staring at the same galaxies. So I've just got 2 more short ones here just to transition into the light on the other side of grief here. Sometimes I'm so used to sitting in my sadness that I forget the way it feels when there's a cool breeze. I'm laying on a blanket in the grass and the world is kissing my feet. Birds are chirping and dogs are wagging their tails. Life is fucking beautiful sometimes, right? You remember what it's like? I want to see the world through a child's eyes. I want to live to feel the sun kiss my cheeks I want to live to see the way your eyes crease when you smile and the way it feels when we laugh so hard that my face hurts. Mangoes taste so fucking good when we're standing barefoot in my kitchen. Fruit juice dripping down my face, and I love this feeling won't always be here, but today I want to fucking be alive. Isn't that worth writing about? Sometimes I'm reminded that the world doesn't always make me cry. Walks at night when the world is sleeping, the eerie comfort of dawn, white blankets on a green couch wrapped around you. You are darkness surrounded by light, earth reincarnated, 3 chimes of bell in the wind, cold concrete symbolism, biting into sweet fruit. It's you. It's always been you. They say love is blind, and it scares the shit out of everyone I know, including me. You can't blame us. We're cautious and we're weary, and it's like I've been holding my breath for as long as I can remember. We're tiptoeing around this because we both walked into the room with open wounds, fresh bandages wrapped around our hearts from the people we loved before. But something changed when I met you. The sun shines on brown whiskey eyes, and the creases when you smile make me feel exactly how you think it would after a couple shots at the bar. Happiness with you feels like standing barefoot in the kitchen eating fresh fruit. We're cooking and we're laughing about how we burned the food, and time stops in these moments. I feel anything but scared. Everything feels sort of like an exhale when I'm with you. So this may scare the living shit out of me, but for the first time in a long time, I can finally breathe. Thank you everybody. Happy birthday, Karen.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Okay, Diego Ray, you're on deck. So Diego Ray is my cohort jazz poet. So I love your whole flow. So I'm gonna let you take this one.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Karen, for having me here. We met at Blah probably like over a year ago. We've been going to Blah and we've been writing together, seeing each other evolve. So it's really cool to be reading here at her book release and birthday. So yeah, just want to say that. I'm gonna do a couple of love poems for y'all. Yeah, this first one doesn't have a title, so let's talk about love. Let's talk about young love, new love, true love, and loves we didn't love all the way. Some that burn bright, some that burn long. Some was blue love, some was bruised love, some was loose love, some was locked. No one else is invited. This is hot and exclusive. I have eyes just for you, love. You're the only one that gives me that touchy, blushy, squishy, squeezy feeling. Oh, shine on, you San Antonio beauty. You're still warm after the sun drops. Start another love poem. I pour another scotch drink while you're putting on your black dress. Real slow, just to tease me. We're just starting off the weekend. She wears the most expensive expressions. She feels like the promised land. I'm sinking endlessly. So many colors, so much texture to her soul, so many sides, and still so much left unknown. God, what a woman. So refreshing. The spirit of summer, the smile that turns my earth. Nothing was ever so important to me than her. My shooting star in slow motion, her mind a masterpiece as pure as a mockingbird. The magma building new ground for us all to walk on. Oh, what she does to me. What she does to me and how she does it. Smooth like the perfect Coca-Cola on a Sunday surf, sand in your toes. Mother Earth all over you, barefoot in nirvana, bringing out emotions that got tangled now. Clear as can be, my cure for confusion. shining and shining and shining and shining and shining. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I go straight to the next one. It's the brightness of the sun on her bare morning skin, the tropical wanderlust buried in your eyes, cleaned and polished, crisp like the country air. It came rushing through my lungs, unclogged my speech, please, so when I speak, it's as sweet as peaches, all the super beauty I wanna sink into. Every motion my body makes, my passion is to be graceful at the basics. Wherever my ugliness hides, I turn deserts into sunflower fields. It took me long enough to get here. I tore myself to pieces to tell the story, had to cure all that bad weather stirring, rearranged my psyche for answers lost. In the deepest bottom, it took me as long as August to untighten, be light, get excited. Gotta dig for your own love, cause it ain't gonna find you. I was doing my best to fight it. I was searching hard to find it then. I saw the brightness of the sun on your bare morning skin, the tropical wanderlust buried in your eyes. Blame it on our signs. If our science is determined by the stars and the planets, if the force of our karma brought us together, most are just vanilla, babe. But you're my breakfast, lunch, and cherry cream dreamsicle dripping on my summer clothes. My rollerblade disco queen, Playboy bunny praying but not a practicing Catholic. All of my pleasure, all of my pain read across your paintings, and I was a poet, giving all my mind's melodies the music of language louder as it grows, still digging into new ways to say it and leave it on the page with the grace of divine guidance. And even if we're misaligned, we love anyways, any day, rain or shine. You can't dull the brightness of the sun on your bare morning skin, the tropical wanderlust buried in your eyes. Yeah, thank you. I got one more, it's called Daylight. I released it on Spotify, you can find it there under Diego Ray. So yeah, I'm gonna do that for you. Sunday, pomegranate seeds and popsicle sticks, and pineapples freshly juiced. She's my little dragon fruit and I'm her strong mango tree. I can give you shade if you need it, under my leaves if the sun beats too heavy, if things get too sunny, if you get hungry. I give fruit through all seasons with record-breaking sweetness. Our love never runs out. She's my sex when I need it. She's my high when I'm down. She's my voice of reason when I'm lost, found. All these new feelings, used to doubt, now I believe it. She's dirty, like a shining gem in the earth. She's dirty for me, I'm dirty for her, and I'm drunk on it. This is something spiritual and messy and beautiful, the ecstasy between two lovers tangled in each other's heartstrings, touching bodies, mixing together, making new colors. We make magic when we make love. I used to hate love. I used to blame love until I gave love. So many years I used to crave love. I was afraid of how sweet it would taste. I was afraid love would force me to change. Love would have broke the man that I was, cold as I was. I was still flesh and blood, still young enough to be dumb enough to hate love. I thought I overcame love until love came and brought me into the daylight. I thought I'd be judged for showing signs of damage. I thought I'd be judged for not knowing how to heal. I thought love was for certain people, I had to learn to fall in love for no reason. I fall, and it feels like flying, flooding my deepest thoughts. I found me an ocean. I found my forbidden fruit that never rots. Love found me when I tried to hide. Said, come out and grow, child. Come out and be known, child. Come out and flow into the hearts, into the streets. Give all your sorrow and pain, let it rain and thunder over your garden. May it give you fruit April and May. May all your anger and doubt be turned around. May your spirit sprout and reach heights way up above. Man, I used to hate love. I used to blame love until love came and brought me into the daylight. Yeah. Thank y'all.
Okay, next up, let's see my list, I don't remember. All right, Shara. Shara, I consider you one of my mentors. Yeah, I do. We met, gosh, when did we meet? It's been a few months, almost. We met at Chris Park at a workshop led by the vocab, our poet laureate. My gosh. Okay, well, anyway, this is Shara. She is amazing. Everybody give it up. All right, let's say it again. Happy birthday, Karen. Congratulations on your book. I ordered mine. I hope y'all ordered yours. All right. So, we're going to start off with some love, and then we're going to move to some other things. So, all right, here we go. On Labor Day, when my fall began, you told me that you weren't happy. As if I were the guardian of your happiness, as if it were my problem to fix. Without any thought for the long years we shared, you ended us and made me an awkward stranger in my own house, in my own life, with only the dog to keep me company. Reacting to the lies told, the betrayals piled upon me like Pompeian ashes, smothering me in one day, like that whole civilization where they ate, loved, and played. Speaking to the counselor, my words were transformed on the pages of her notebook from feelings to a diagnosis, adjustment reaction. That is how polite society describes having your life chopped into bits and swirled around like a hot pot caldo, served up with acidic lime and tasting of ashes. Adjustment reaction, a euphemism for the emotional injury, the abrupt notice of eviction from your soul. Speaking to the counselor, my words were transformed. Proving for the final time that you never loved me. Or maybe that you could never love me the way I needed. Adjustment reaction. It sounds like the movement your body makes when you slip in the mud on a rainy day and the ground comes up to meet you hard. Bruising your legs, arms, head, and heart. Adjustment reaction. Like the sudden shake my body makes when I bounce back to awareness after drifting off into a dreamless sleep when trying to read. The feeling of falling, of crashing down to my death. Now, jolting awake, I move to cast you into the universe. Adjustment reaction, but not flesh and bone, not the manipulation crunch of the misaligned spine, but of the heart instead. Adjusting, realizing I'm better off now. Cast astray in the storm of my life, the life vest suddenly pulled off me, pulling away my safety, falling out of love, moving into the deep. I released myself from your net like a small fish, freeing herself from the fisherman to swim again in the wide, overwhelming ocean where white top waves part to reveal there's so many more fish in the sea. Wriggling like a newborn foal, struggling to free herself from the fluid sac and the slime of birth, to find that she can walk alone on wobbling legs, wet but free, hurt but hopeful, sad but finally seeing the sun, beyond grief to a place of stillness, finding my full strength again and leaning toward the light. Thank you. Wolves and Sheep, a fairy tale. Subtitle, Unrequested Advice from Self-Proclaimed Wise People. Now, I've been told there's two types of people, wolves and sheep. And judging me with those big eyes you have, on a spectrum from predator to prey, where do I see myself, you ask? The most wolfish I've been is wearing a shirt for the Sol Ross Lobos, and as much as I may not want to identify with Bo Peep and the search for lost sheep, she did eventually find her flock, despite leaving their tails behind them. And Little Red Riding Hood may have her secrets to keep, not knowing her grandmother dressed for sleep from a wolf in drag, saying, "The better to hear you with, my dear." But at least she recognized sharp teeth when she saw them, albeit a bit late. I'm sure it was very dark inside the wolf until the huntsman came with the axe, that is. I want to have my house built solidly like a smart little piggy would, so any wolf's huffing and puffing would do no good. Not breaking any bricks. I know work and play don't often mix. No way would I cry wolf until no one could hear my words. Of course, we have bred wolves to sheepdogs over the years, and sheep have learned safety in numbers, allaying their fears. So on a spectrum from wolf to sheep, I believe I can keep seeing myself more in the hunter with the axe, or maybe in the shepherds that save their sheep's tails. Remember, nowadays, it's less about knowing who's a wolf or a sheep, and more about knowing who you can trust from who's a creep, knowing who sees the true you. What big eyes you must have, the better to see you with, my dear.
Okay, that was Shara. Next up, we have Diego. You still feeling good? Yeah!
Arr, mateys! Arr!
Everyone, this is Diego.
Hi, everybody. How are you? You feeling fabulous? You're pretty too. I think everybody here is pretty. No, like I think you're all pretty. No, I'm kidding. So I'm very happy to be here tonight. Karen is an amazing friend, an amazing poet, an amazing author. So I'm happy to be celebrating your birthday and your book. Woo! So I was also honored to speak tonight, and I have 4 shits, or 4 pieces, forgive me if there are children. 4 pieces tonight. My first 3 are an ode to my abuelita, so ode to grandma. Some of them are going to be in Spanish, so you get to experience what my grandma experiences in a country that doesn't speak her language. Then after that, I will be having one poem about me as a teacher, because believe it or not, I teach children. I terrify them. I'm kidding. I terrify them when I need to, but I love them as well when I need to. So this first one is, dicen que soy terco. ¿Por qué tienes que ser tan terco? Why do you have to be so stubborn? She asks. 4 fingers slap her forehead with a wave that could set Icarus free and catch a falling child. I'm your son. Why do you think I'm so stubborn? I spill out, mouth catching up to me with my mind. Shit. I manage to hide to myself. With a slight drop of her jaw, a widening of the eyes, she channels El Ojo de los Olivas, a powerful tool passed down by the women in my family that could leave any child paralyzed. Eyes locked, a knowing grin spreads across her face as she lowers her hands to her eyes. Ay, Diego, como eres mi hijo, just how you're my son. My mom has always been afraid to become her mother. You need to stop serving him food, take care of yourself, Mom. You need to stop gossiping to discipline family about our business. You need to stop lying to the doctor on his behalf. You need to stop letting family take advantage of you too. You need to take a new hobby or find other ways to spend your time other than gossiping. Terca, eres terca, my grandma responds, hand slapped to meet her forehead. A familial gesture. There is no winning between an immovable object and an unstoppable force. Being terca was in our blood. But it's tercas who build an empire despite unfaithful kings. Tercas who see right through a nada estoy bien when a rey has tears in his eyes. Tercas who raise 3 men despite being a mother of 2. Tercas who refuse to hide in closets and persist like saguaros in the heat of the desert. Dicen que soy terco. Just like my mom. Just like her mom. Thank you. La siguiente sí está en español, entonces, con la bendición de mi abuelita. Para mi abuelita que tal vez está en California. Abuelita, me diste mi corazón. Me enseñaste cómo amar incondicionalmente, aunque puede ser que no entiendas. Me diste la fuerza para perdonar a los que me han lastimado. Me enseñaste a siempre tener comida en la casa. Me diste la sabiduría para apreciar a la vida. Me enseñaste a no derrotarme a mí mismo. Y con tu bendición, aprendí a amarme a mí mismo. Gracias. La última de este medio para mi abuelita también en español y es mi mejor porrista. Mi abuelita es mi mejor porrista porque cree que puedo volar. Cree que puedo mover el mundo con mis manos o con mi cadera. En su mundo soy el rey, soy su sol, luna y el mar. Gracias. Okay, now for the English portion of this part of the entertainment. No, this is all bilingual because I'm from the fucking border town, so all my life is bilingual. This last one is why I always end up back in 7th grade. This is for my kids. How do I always end up back in 7th grade? It was going to be my first year teaching, and I found out I was going to be teaching 7th grade writing, to which my soon-to-be college graduate mind had 2 responses. 1, fuck yes, a check, a job, hallelujah. 2, fuck, I hated 7th grade. 7th grade is when I started Catholic school and down a path of force-fed self-hatred in the shapes of the body and blood of Christ, which I didn't overcome until I found the faith and power in myself to tell those who condemned me that God loves all of his creations. 7th grade is when I confirmed my feelings I had long been denying after accidentally swiping my hand between Gustavo Mado's perfectly taut soccer player butt cheeks while in procession to receive communion. Yes, Jesus, I'm a faggot of the highest caliber. Sodomy is my favorite pastime. 7th grade is when I was sexually harassed and bullied. The unwanted attention in hands of 2 boys who would never understand the internal war happening in my head because I did want their touch and their attention, but not as a victim of their anger and self-hatred. Now I know what the touch of true love feels like and what true love feels like deep down inside. Recently, I had to pull aside one of my queer 7th grade babies because I found him alone with his 8th grade boyfriend and his friends. He was the only 7th grader among them. As I looked into his eyes and reminded him about what I said in class, enjoy the opportunity to have a boyfriend and feel what love, or their idea of it, feels like, and don't be dumb. Be safe and go slow, reminding him that I wouldn't say anything if I didn't care about him. His telling, "I know, sir," and grin gives me a little delight. Because here we are, a queer Latinx teacher and elder in the heart of San Antonio, speaking to and guiding a queer Latino boy in his journey of self-discovery. This is why I think I always end up back in 7th grade. Because the boys and girls and everything in between like me who need someone on their side who understands where they're coming from and loves them unconditionally. Thank you. Congratulations again. Thank you, y'all. Have a nice night.
Okay, we have one more poet tonight. I have become friends with this person recently. I've admired them from afar. It's been like, so I have stage fright, and this person just has this dynamic presence on stage. So I was always like too scared to say hi. But last but not least, Diamond.
Happy birthday and congratulations, and thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, celebrating this wondrous occasion. That being said, I'm gonna jump right in. I've got 3 pieces for y'all, so bear with me. This first piece I do everywhere I get the chance to, just in case the person it's about happens to be in the audience, because I have not seen her since this moment, and I would very much like for all of these words to get to her in one way or another. Ashe, Amen, Shalom, Aleichem, dear Rosa. You make me want to pray. To whom I'm not quite sure, but your faith is such a beautiful thing, it got a hold of me. I remembered the reasons people cling to intangible things, why we sign our souls to the unseen. I remembered believing. And I was reluctant to admit in that moment that no, I don't believe in God. At least not the way most do, but I do believe in you, and you are enough to sing praise for. I should have prayed for you in person, but I didn't. I was scared that it might have come out as dishonest since I don't really talk to God, and most days I use his and every other name in vain, and you needed more in that moment than what I could give, but I swear, if I could have spared it, I would have given you so much more than a shoulder and a ride. And no, I don't know what it's like to quake with the weight of a newly widowed wife, but I do know what it feels like to shake everywhere, to crack suddenly at your very center, to feel the trembling take you over, to see cliffs form at your feet and suddenly be so far away from everything, but compassion is not enough. And I know that. That sort of hurt needs more than empathy to heal with. It needs a fearless faith. The kind born of patience and prayer. Well, I'm not patient and I don't pray, but Rosa, you make me want to find God again, if only so I can show him to people like you who haven't seen him in a while but still believe that he is there. I want to say yes, he is listening and he does have a plan and he will make this better, but more than I want to show them God, I want to show them themselves. I want God to be a mirror that reflects our hearts back to us when we forget we are capable and deserving of love. I want more than stained glass and rosaries and religion for you and everyone else. I want love, boundless love. I hope there is an army of unwinged angels fighting behind you against the demons and whatever darkness comes your way. I hope you never feel alone. I hope kindness crosses your path in the strangest of places and familiar ones as well, but between the crying and the too quick car ride, I couldn't get my thoughts together, so now I'm writing this. It's not a poem or a prayer or anything even remotely holy, but it's what I have for whatever it's worth. Dear Rosa, I am honored that you shared your heart with us. I am so sorry about your husband. I thank the forces that be for him and the way he loved you, if only because I can see that in his love he is still here helping you through this. and I hope you feel it too, and I hope your heart stays strong, and I hope your God sees it, and I hope the truck wasn't shaking too much, and I hope the seats weren't too cold, and I hope you don't feel bad for crying, and I hope somebody hugged you that night, and I'm sorry I didn't. I know you are hurting, and that the pain feels like it is everywhere, and everything around you is falling, and the ground beneath you is crumbling, and these next few years will be a blur of tears and agony and anger. And no, I don't think God has a plan, or that this was a part of it. I don't find peace in the thought of such a cruel ruler, but I do have faith that this will not be the end of you. And I know you don't need me to tell you that. But I wanted to say it out loud anyways, just in case you or your God needed reminding. Dear Rosa, you make me want to pray, so for you, I will. Dear universe, please watch over Rosa. Please allow her to heal, surrounded by love, and in time be able to share hers once more. I know she is suffering, but please do not let it be for too long. Ashe, Amen, Shalom, Alachem, to the powers that be. All right, we're gonna move it along to something a little more upbeat. Yeah. For those of you who know me, you know that might be a lie. I am not the most upbeat person. Upbeat is relative. So cheers to all those who haven't given up yet, who woke up one day, realized that this is all bullshit, and still went to work, still got shit done, still busted ass and took crap and dusted off and doubled back for more. It takes talent to toggle the line between responsible and reckless. So here's to the balancing acts, the circus freaks, the flame jugglers and tamers of beasts. Here's to making it look easy. Here's to young, wild, and free being a paint job over a mini-life crisis. To the meltdowns and the bad days and the moments you think you won't survive this. Here's to the fight, the struggle, the grind, the hustle, making battle cries sound like traffic and busloads of people, all with the same goal as me, y'all, to make it through today and the ones to come. Here's to forgetting the high road and abandoning the low, to missed turns, bad advice, to the sun setting slow. Here's to the scenic route, to not getting there quickly. Here's to the bullshit and the growing pains, to figuring it out along the way, to the pennies you've pinched and the schemes you've pulled just to get yourself through until the next payday. Here's to having life on layaway. Here's to buying gas in quarters, to planning everything around what you can and can't afford. Here's to that extra $20 you didn't expect it. Here's to reliable friends and paid off debts. Here's to balling on a budget, to $2 specials, to drinks on me, to tucking away $5 because your tank is still running on E, but you're here. Here's to going for broke. Here's to going. Here's to coming back. Here's to trying to make it through this life with your dignity intact. Here's to being on top of the world while simultaneously carrying it on your shoulders. Here's to the assholes who say you'll understand when you get older, but even they aren't brave enough to be frank and admit that life kicks your ass sometimes for no apparent reason, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Here's to the ones who deal with it, who get shit done. To the mountains and molehills and not letting either get in the way of the one thing you truly want to accomplish. Here's to having a way out and not taking it. Here's to not pulling the trigger, for faking it when you have to. Here's to sticking around when the going gets tough. Here isn't even where the going gets tough, and if you can't handle this, then you are gonna have a rough ride ahead. And I cannot help you, but I can toast to your travels. So cheers to the bullshit, to the yarn that has yet to be unraveled. I hope it keeps you warm. All right, y'all, I got one more piece, if I can find it. All right, so hi, my name's Diamond, and I have seasonal depression. Who here can attest to that? Yeah, got a few of you, okay. So some days, like, good isn't an option, I'm just doing. And that's about as good as it's gonna get. So this is in honor of somebody who didn't think that was enough. A stranger asked me how I'm doing, and I smile and shrug and say, all right. Stranger says, just all right? And I chuckle and bashfully look away, not really knowing how to respond, so I just shrug again and raise my eyebrows, and the word, yeah, stumbles out of my mouth on the last syllable of a nervous laugh. For a while, I stood there wondering why that wasn't a good enough answer for him. Refreshed my memory on the last year, began to piece together how to elaborate, and then gave up. Oddly, I felt like that particular moment would have been weird to ramble out a 2.5 minute soliloquy to a stranger. I figured a room full of strangers was better. So, to the stranger, an introduction to the dictionary of diamond. All right, noun, definition, a state of peaceful being. Example, I'm picking dirty clothes up off of a clean floor today. And the dirt that was there was mine in the first place. It's a weird thing to be aware of, but I've learned to appreciate these kinds of things. Example, for the first time in too long, I don't have to pay to do the laundry, and meal planning doesn't leave me pondering an impending financial quandary. I know what roof will be over my head in 6 months, and feeling my tank doesn't feel like squandering. I'm all right. Like getting 4 chicken strips instead of the 3 on the takeout I shouldn't have been ordering in the first place is all right. Like, I'm not eating paella in a private suite in Madrid, but I know where I'm gonna be sleeping for the next week and for dozens of weeks to come. Like, getting by, like, getting up, like, staying up. Yeah, man, I'm all right. Capital A. Example, yes, I am wearing the same shirt I wore yesterday, but I Febrezed that shit instead of shrugging it off and hoping for the best. Like, I'm learning that wishes may take time to manifest, and the universe does not acquiesce my efforts, slight though they may be. Like, I'm giving it all I've got. And all I've got isn't great, but I know all things in my life move at my behest, and I am taking my time. It's all right. Like, I remembered to eat more than once today, and I didn't feel sick. And maybe the dog still had an accident this morning, but I mopped that shit up instead of letting it sit and fester in the floorboards. Like, instead of running away from, I'm running towards the light. Like, I feel like fighting again. I don't just feel like fighting, I feel like winning, one to-do list at a time. I'm all right. Like, I haven't been to the hospital in over a year, y'all. I'm all right. Like, my homie asked me if I was good the other day, and I said yes, with confidence. And for once, he did not ask if I was lying. So to the stranger, you don't know me well enough to understand how long it's been since I've been all right. You don't get to criticize what peace looks like to me. I don't remember your name, but I am thankful for your high expectations and happy to fall below them if it means not having to lie about how I'm doing anymore. So to anyone who asks, I'm not great, but I ain't too bad either. I'm working my way up. And for now, yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, y'all. Now it's my turn. I thought I would have something memorized, but we're not going to do that today. So, I'm just gonna... Cameron, can I ask for your help? Everyone, this is Cameron. She's my work wife. Okay, so some context. I reached out via an Instagram post at the idea of publishing a book. It was something I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl, and I found myself also wanting to get on a stage. I have severe stage fright. Yeah. Can I get some water? Huh? I gotta talk louder. Okay, can y'all hear me in the back? Daniel, can you hear me? Okay. So, because I have stage fright, I told myself I was gonna start doing things on stage for the sake of getting over this ridiculous fear. I've always been around stages, around performers, but I always was on the sidelines. So in this quest to not only just work on myself, I began to write stories of like the people that I see around me, about my family, about some of the shit that I was going through personally. And yeah, it just started flowing. So I have over 100 poems, about 60, actually I don't know how many are in this book. I think there's like 80 of them in this book. So I'm just gonna read a small handful. They all kind of touch on different things. This first one is called The Cafe Where the Working Men Go. I'm a tradesperson. I like getting my hands dirty. I used to work as a carpenter, I'm a welder, painter, things like that. So I really relate to people who work in construction and things like that. Like, I don't dress like this normally. I'm in costume. So this one is The Cafe Where the Working Men Go. This early in the morning, the sun still hasn't risen. I chose to eat in the cafe where the working men go, instead of eating alone. Sitting in the booth with the slate blue torn upholstery, worn from thousands of bodies, quickly eating something sustaining before spending their day working outside for their families. In this heat, we can't get by without our cultura staples. One by one, the tables fill with matching salsa bowls, coffee creamers, platos con tacos, and in the back, their fingertips are burning, flipping tortillas on the large comales. Spatulas clanking, cooking, papas con huevo, mugs for cafe, stacked upside down, taste of comida awakens our tongues. Servers with matching aprons, men sit down in matching uniforms, surrounding me. I choose the corner. I'm still boxed in by plexiglass walls. Muffling voices speak of today's plans, of last night's dreams, news headlines, and meetings, and I am greeted with my own coffee, a genuine buenos dias. They know me now, the only woman being served in a room where men sit surrounding the perimeter, taking up the best seats. At 7:30 in the morning, there's still more light inside than out. I write my poems and I think about life, grateful that I don't have to work as hard as these men, but grateful that there's still room if I wanted to. It reminds me of growing up, and it reminds me of the family I am missing. The regular strangers seen daily, together, taking up space. Thank you. Cameron, I didn't actually tell you what to do. Okay, so my book was supposed to be available to purchase today. I was going to be able to sign copies, but I went with a small print press, and with the holidays and with COVID, just, life's a little strange right now. So Cameron, if you wouldn't mind, I have these bookmarks that I've made. They have a poem on them, and you get a little photograph of me. But this poem is not included in the book as like a small token of thanks for your patience and your flexibility. If you still want to order a book, I have information up here. Come find me afterwards. Train. So Cameron's gonna walk around, and if you would like a bookmark, take one. And I'll stick around after I finish reading, and I can sign them. I'll make a little note or something for you. So, okay, back to the poetry. All right, I'm dedicating this one to my sweet mama. This one's called Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. She doesn't like being in the spotlight. I don't either. Okay. I was raised by a living saint, Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. She placed me on a pedestal anchored by all the sacrifices she made. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. Its weight she holds on to, holds me up while she's slowly sinking into the ground. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. To this day, my weight wears on her like river wears down stones. Still, she remains strong and soft. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. More beautiful with age, like her mom before, her most prized treasures she collects placed on pedestals she holds up. Shining lights reflect her beautiful heart. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. She owned one skate growing up, a handful of other broken childhood things. Resourcefulness was her life force, transporting her to worlds outside of her reality for brief moments in time. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. A skill developed out of determination to have what she couldn't, to find happiness in this moment. A tuna can became a hockey puck, her broom, her hockey stick. She made so many goals on those summer days as a kid in Suki's driveway. From those days of no cares, she grew up to become a living saint. Santa Rosa Sangre Mia. Care for her elders, she cares more than anyone normally does in this country, so much that industry standards were written by her example. Santa Rosa, my saving grace. Selfless by nature, worn from experience, a benediction. Love you, Mama. This next one's called Imorata, and it goes like this. Once the unveiling began, life seemed to have paused. Her heartbeat slowed, throwing the whole rhythm off. The lace that covered her eyes hid so many signs. Things didn't get worse. They became unveiled. Uncertain on where to go, but she knows she is the path. She chose herself for the first time, the path unlevel, wavering and winding. Breaking down the blockades to let self-love in is messy work. Can't end until it's completed. Ahora es el tiempo. Thank you. So this is the piece I wrote when I went to that workshop that Vocab hosted at Chris Park. If anyone's not familiar with Chris Park, it's this beautiful, dedicated space downtown, and it's just so zen. I wrote this for my grandmother, and it's called Petal Piles on a Tuesday. She hugged her grandmother, noticing the fallen rose petals on the ground. As every cycle enters the last chapter of life, seen through her flowers, browning, shrinking, and crinkled. Let go. Every cycle enters the last chapter of life, seen through her flowers. Onto the warm grass on the summer day, she spent so many decades watering. She hugged her grandmother for the last time on a Tuesday. Chosen with grace, we honor the ones we love. My mother chose roses for her grave. On the day I last saw her, that day, she returned home 6 years ago, and I lost my home. I cried out. My heart became a river carving paths into mountains, leaving the concrete boulders we sit on. Swept away my emotions, I didn't know how to control what's outside of myself. I collected those petals, swept into piles, took on tending her garden, green thumb passed on, pressed down on the piles, the petal piles, fed seedlings, preparing for new things as she guides my spirit. I feel her wonder when I see the carved paths of memories. It's okay to sit still and listen to the leaves dance in the wind. My grandmother was always wanted that for me. The last standing rose poses alone, seeking grass to enter with the falling petals of a cycle now complete. Swept into piles, returns to the ground, and cycles repeat. Can y'all still hear me? Okay. All right, this one's called Typesettings. I think I read this I featured at Blah over the summer, sometime back, with several of the poets you heard tonight. I wrote this but edited it out, some of it, but I think this one's one of my favorites. Keys unlocking, opening eyes pressed down in sequence rhymes, finds that time has drifted away. Writing is how I travel, to analyze dreams, see distant cities, with goals of eventually making means out of something not tangible until it's read aloud. Realized by my heart and mind with the hands and the eyes, thoughts set up and typed out. A special kind of creator. Written words casting a powerful spell sets us off like jets propelled towards second chances in understanding. First glances into newfound worldviews, perchance a different perspective. Typesetting to reveal secrets, form stylized with limericks, our group therapy. A temporal solution as I work towards enlightenment and healing and resetting. These settings secured, selected to amplify the seasons. I dream in as often as I need to. Able to share this strange vision in other formats, but I choose to write. I am the next generation hoping to someday inspire you, paying it forward with gratitude, and grateful for all of you who inspire me. Thank you.
We're grateful for you!
I think the battery is dead. Who said that? Thank you, Jackie. Okay, switching mics. All right, all my Clubhouse folks, shout out. Where you at? All right, so I work at this amazing organization, and one of my coworkers' name is Jorge. He always used to yell, "Dale shine!" So, yeah, so we all know that phrase, being here in San Antonio. So I wrote a poem about it, and I dedicate this to all my Clubhouse family. All right. Se dice, dale shine, to the lonely, to, is that a reverb? To those who find the task uneasy. A magnificent greeting, you got this. My people, mi gente, we got this together. Dale shine. To the man who doesn't believe he is worthy. To the woman who's never given a chance. To the person who is tired of trying and trying, time and time again. Dale shine. Keep going with the goal to reflect the sunlight. Cast its light back on you. A phrase used back when shining shoes proved your life was easy, proved your worth equally to those with the brightest foundation. The message of hope and light came to be, taken by my people, mi gente, pridefully. Let it shine. Brilliant like each heart that walks inside my newfound home, hoping to cast their light with steps that reflect their work cast out to see better tomorrows. I have to remember that nothing in nature blooms all year, and that living in my grandmother's care, nothing blooms forever. Thank you. Okay, so I did one for my mama, this one's for my dad. This one's called Girl, Keep Up. Recalling. The music made by Snapple bottle caps once helped relax the energy of being stuck inside the cab for the morning. I was 7, watching crane-like machines move large, heavy things from the cab of his 72 Chevy, shaking everything. Creating new mountains I could never climb, I feel most at home in junkyards, sitting in cars more than I ever sat inside, or a playground, seeing from a window. Salvage yards, modern-day treasure troves, hunting felt like second homes. With his long beard, my dad appeared like half pirate, half merchant. I now know he did this all for me, wearing steel-toe boots before I turned 20 because he was afraid I'd get crushed, cut, or impaled by nails or scraped by something metal. I was more afraid of junkyard dogs. Eyes staring from a young age, men working hard, looking for escape. I learned to become invisible. It wasn't common to see girls there, and I learned about intentions in those days. Growing up, I also lived on a forklift. There was no key, just a flathead screwdriver you turn to the right. It ignites the hum of the engine, soothing sitting next to my father. He told me to hold on as we reversed onto the uneven streets surrounding his shop, moving things from one area to another to make space. My dad is always making space for something. The sounds of the forks scrape as he accidentally pulls the lever up instead of down. And in those days, we ate breakfast at the Western Broiler. Carmen brought us candy canes if we finished our plates, and we had to eat fast because he had to be somewhere. All the errands on those summer days felt like quality time. I seek out when I'm feeling lonely, sitting in the car, watching things moving, wishing I sat next to someone like I once sat next to my dad. Love you, Dad. Okay, so I have anxiety now. I've met a lot of people who deal with a lot of things. Hey! So this poem I wrote as a means of hope, and it's called Bouquet of Phrases, or Triggered. Triggered as a gun pointed at your knees, hands held high, point blank, frozen feelings set off like a death cry warning. You are not okay, forgetting that you can be. Commands from outside stealing your joy, demanding things that defy your peace. Unavoidable actually is collateral damage that was never your fault. To stop this war you fight inside yourself is learning not to pull those pins from grenades you try to toss. Working beside you to replace each grenade with a bouquet of phrases no one ever said to you but you needed to hear. Sounds like, you are worthy, you are loved, you are enough in different colors and sizes as a means to put away all those weapons used to lash out with, can one day be removed and no longer needed. Growth evidence so far that shock and explosions known from before are now a distant music you've outgrown, turning the volume down or skip altogether. There's more. It's hard to let go. I'll keep sending you those bouquets as I work beside you on my own shit. Red, I love yous. You're safe from black days. You are worthy. You are safe. Green ribbons wrapped around each stem, stemming a feeling of hope. Watered in a vase to elevate your heart. I'll work beside you for as long as it takes. Thank you. This was the first one I think I've had published by the mixtape, I believe. Chibby and Corey there in the back. Thank you for this opportunity. I have also included in my book, just FYI. This is called In Spirit and in Essence, and I dedicate this to my grandmother. To my people, music is the nectar sustaining life. bringing hope on days where no matter what is lost, our anima will never go hungry. Fed by a fiery force, sweeping, pulling the heartstrings in all the right ways, music lights, it ignites a fire in my eyes. Powerful when I sing in both languages, channels the old gods and new, with lyrics capturing snapshots of life experiences carved by the wind to be heard by the spirit world, brings out my strength. I see the most profound beauty, the very catalyst to change the world. I feel I can take on anything so long as music plays louder than any voice who claims something is not possible. The music makes me feel worthy, a warrior in my own right. Every time she sings the melody of her ancestors, armor forms around her spirit. A warrior's dance, a prayer's chant, her sight enhanced like an eagle, guides her down the highway every time she begins a new journey. Forward thinking, my grandmother's singing heard as a melody of strength. Now gone, her spirit still singing remains my guide, seeing new sights beginning, forging the path for things to go right. I, her granddaughter, sing songs once dreamt by my ancestors past, realized my destiny was passed down and rises above all expectations. Protection provided by chosen lyrics, the armor stronger, lighter, helps me surpass the sun. Thank you. All right, this is my last poem. For all the pretty people in the building, this one's called A Cute, and it's about being aware of your beauty and kind of using it to your benefit. But it's also not letting people give you shit because you're you. A Cute. Acutely aware of how cute I am, is wearing a badge of innocence I first used to gain power. My history lives in the salt and pepper colored curls, seen at first glance by most. In a world that cherishes long hair, mine, independent nature, there's no way to tame it except to shave it. Remove it completely from the equation, but why would I do that? Maybe seen as a chance to start again, a new chapter with each new link. Doesn't erase my history, a 5.2 perspective, 5'2" perspective, automatically classified as cute. Innocence seen as non-threatening. My way to gain power, working through this rape culture, toxic masculinity.
is for half-price books. Let's see. First raffle ticket is 673-0352. 0352. 673-0352. Anybody? We have a winner? Winner, winner, winner. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, the next one. Give it up for the winner. Ba, 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 ba. Get yourself a book, girl. The next one is for Nowhere Books. Nowhere Books. They are somewhere. All right, the ticket is 673-0409. 0409. Anybody? 673. Oh, we have a winner! Ba, 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 ba. Bing. Come get your prize. Come get your prize. Congratulations. 673-0409. 0409. Oh, he not winning. 0409. Anybody got 0409? All right. Next. It's not me. All right. Next. All right. 673-0356. 0356. Anybody? Anybody? 0356. Anybody? Any winners? All right. 0356. Calling once. Calling twice. 0356. All right, next. All right, let's see. Oh, wait. Was it? Do we have a winner? Do we? All right. Ooh. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yes. Yay, winner! Pa, 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 pa. Woo, woo, woo. All right, the next one is for 2 tickets to the Overtime Theater. 2 tickets to the Overtime Theater. The number is 673-0350. 0350. 035. Oh, yeah! Good job. Winner, winner, winner. All right. Yes. Yes. Winner! All right. All right. The last one. 2 tickets to Nina Simone, January 20th at the Public Theater. Public Theater. Nina Simone, January 20th, Public Theater. All right. It's a play. She didn't come back. It's a Nina Simone hologram. All right. 673-0399. 0399. 0399. Any winners? Any winners chicken dinners? 0399 for the Nina Simone play. January 20th. All right, no winner. Next ticket. Next ticket. 673-0422. It's not me. It's close. Nina Simone, January 20th, Public Theater, a play. 673-0422. All right. All right. Wow, the suspense. 673-0406. 0406. No. Oh, winner, winner, winner to the Nina Simone hologram. I was one digit off. All right, guys. That's it. Thank you for coming.